When we first made it to Sydney, everybody was telling us, oh, you gotta come down to Melbourne, you gotta come down to Victoria, you have to see Melbourne.
You can't just go visit the Gold Coast and the beautiful sunny beaches, and you just can't see the Sydney Opera House, which, yeah, we get.
But what we noticed a lot of was that there was this kind of comparison happening between Sydney and Melbourne and Sydney, and it turns out that this goes back a long, long way.
It makes sense in a lot of ways because both Sydney and Melbourne are big metropolitan cities. They're both two of the largest cities in Australia, and they're both capital cities of their states. In doing a little bit of digging, I learned that this rivalry and this comparison, though, has been going on for a really, really long time. I mean, a whole part of the Constitution actually stated that Melbourne could only be the temporary capital of Australia, while the permanent capital had to be in New South Wales, but 100 miles away from Sydney, which is why the capital today of Australia is Canberra. I actually still want to see Canberra someday. As many comparisons exist between Sydney and Melbourne, I really, really want to try to see Melbourne for what it is, not in comparison to another city.
For me, I really think comparison is kind of inevitable. You're always going to want to know, especially between two cities that are huge and amazing and beautiful, which one you should go to. Which one's better? But as we've found out personally on this trip many, many times, comparison is exclusively the thief of joy. So comparison can be a good thing in that it forces you to move faster, do things better, and work a little bit harder, but on the Camino, trying to match our experience to what we saw on the internet and having it not be exactly the same, and that causing, well, some sadness for us. Is comparison really all that useful when it comes to travel?
I gotta say, I think Koh Phangan is the new Bali.
Comparing an entire city to another city, I know especially when we're on these trips that all of us are trying to find the best possible vacation that we possibly can, and a lot of us don't have time to go to two cities in a country. But I think to totally write off a place because some person on the internet said that it was the second best, So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna show you as much of the city as we possibly can in one day, and then you can decide for yourself. Alright, for our first stop, we had to go to the Queen Victoria Market. It's got like 10 bazillion 5-star Google reviews, and I think if you're looking for tourist goods or food, this is like a great place to go, but for us, I think we're mostly looking for some coffee.
And some donuts.
And some donuts.
Wow, green bay packer color.
Everything here is about half the price of any of the stores that we've gone to so far, so the t-shirts are actually kind of affordable, and so is everything else. There's just so much going on here all the time. There's people running back and forth, money changing hands. It's just exciting to be here.
American Donut Kitchen. He says I won't like it. Oh, it's crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. $7 for 5 donuts. I'd say a pretty good deal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Real travel tip. Travel with your parents. We've reached the end of the market, and this is definitely my most favorite part. It's beautiful, it smells good, everything is savory. They've got cheese and meats. It's just so beautiful. Everyone keeps telling us that Melbourne has an amazing coffee culture, and it's evidenced. We've seen so many coffee stalls here, but I already have a good rack. It's actually a little chilly for the first time since we've been here ever. It's perfect for coffee weather.
There's no real place to sit, so you just end up kind of like sitting on the side. Supposedly the best coffee here in Melbourne.
We got a great rec from one of our viewers. Thank you very much. I actually really enjoy this just on the side of the building, pull up to a window, order a coffee.
So from here on, I think we just gotta walk back home. We're meeting up with the parents for lunch. Looks like it's gonna be like a 20-minute walk. It's a beautiful day out. It says the trams are free. The trams are free? We're in the free tram zone. Makes me wonder, since those trams are free, I wonder if the trams are also free down to St Kilda. We want to go see some penguins.
Gotta be honest, we left Sydney on such a high note that I didn't know what to expect when we came to Melbourne. Melbourne's pretty great. It's got this cool, laid-back city vibe with a lot of character. It's completely different than Sydney in a really, really good way. Gotta say, I also love Melbourne very, very much so far. First impressions, really great.
Melbourne so far has been a city of dualities. There's a downtown central business district that just has people walking all over the place, trains going back and forth, people whizzing by you on bicycles. And then there's a place like this, the Royal Botanical Gardens. Just this big, wide open, very relaxing, very quiet, wide open green space.
Felt like we were walking through a secret garden. So beautiful.
This is my favorite thing to do, is explore this city and walk around, even though it is Josh's least favorite.
What is your counter argument, sir?
My counter argument is that botanical gardens are boring, but the city's very interesting.
This is so beautiful. Hanging out on some lazy boys in the middle of a botanical garden, are you?
No, we're in the endangered species area.
Wow, this garden. Even Josh doesn't love gardens, but this, I saw him smiling. I saw him smiling and laughing. I see you found something to do.
Yeah, it's a nice rocking chair.
We're at the National Gallery of Victoria, and there are digital birds.
Digital bird. Lisa was so excited. She stopped and took a video of every single one of them.
Am I the only one that thinks they're cool?
Yes.
No, no.
Route 96 to St Kilda Beach is due in 7 minutes.
Tell me what the deal is.
Okay, so you can't just tap on and off here like you can in Sydney with just your credit card or whatever. And you can't buy tickets just for the tram. You got to get a MyKey thing. And they sell that for $6 a piece, but every person has to get one. And you don't get any of the money back when you leave. So for tourists, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, that was the tram that we were supposed to take.
Even though we didn't actually want to make the walk out to St Kilda, it was just because of the kind of weird tram thing, but a bit of a blessing in disguise. This is beautiful.
Wow. You can't hear me, probably, but it's almost like we're not even in a city anymore.
Just a short hour-and-a-half walk later, we are now in St Kilda, and we are trying to find some fish and chips, maybe some happy hour, just a nice relaxing thing to do.
We've heard about the infamous fish and chips here and the chicken salt.
So we didn't exactly want to walk this whole way. That wasn't our plan at first. It's just, it would end up costing us like $15 to $20 per person. There isn't a way to buy individual tickets at all, so I don't know. If you know the best way to get down from St Kilda from the city, please let us know, because for tourists, the My Key thing, it just doesn't make any sense. So far, St Kilda has just been this awesome, relaxing, beachy vibe town. And I love how close it is to Melbourne, even though it's obviously a bit of a walk, but by tram it's only like 20 minutes. Just seems like a totally different feel. Fish and chips restaurant.
Tommy Tucker's.
We're at Tommy Tucker's.
And an adventure, walking all the way out to this little town. Wow. Look at that.
Got some beige food.
Someone recently commented on our Camino de Santiago videos and noticed that we were eating a lot of carb-heavy foods, and I thought it was just specific to Camino de Santiago. Turns out, no, it is also here.
And it is delicious.
One of our viewers told us that we had to try fish and chips specifically with chicken salt. We had never heard of chicken salt. Still don't really know what it is. Like, is it made out of chicken? Is it vegetarian? Or is it just a mixture of spices? But it is really, really good chicken salt. We need to find a way to take some home.
Fish so far, really good, really juicy. For sure, this is gonna be like one of those meals that you have and then you're immediately in a coma after you're done.
Batter fried in the same stuff as the fish, and you can see the skinny little potato slab that's in there. They crunch. Oh my gosh, they're really good.
I'm trying the dim sum, which is a play on dim sum, I think, the Australian version of dim sum. Oh, that's really good. Whoa. It has pork and cabbage. It's like a dumpling, but chewier and crunchy on the outside. I really, really like this. We are awaiting sunset and dusk because it is the perfect timing to go see the St Kilda penguins. They're called little penguins or fairy penguins, and there's a whole colony here in St Kilda.
I saw one walk under the bottom of the step over there. I could tell the way he walked.
Waddling.
Isn't that one right there? Oh, that's poop.
You see any through there?
I see seagulls.
Hey, look out.
I bet they're just not back yet from the sea.
Maybe there's some stock footage. Okay, so we probably didn't see any penguins. It's hard to tell, they were so far away, but it's still nice fun, very windy walk out on this dock. But we gotta get heading back. We got a game to go to. Okay, love you. Have a good time watching HGTV.
Bye!
Keys. Got 'em.
Surprisingly, none of us owned anything red or blue.
So we are heading to our first ever AFL game right now, and it looks bonkers and amazing. It's gonna be super fun. AFL stands for Australian Rules Football or Aussie Rules or Footy. Any of those things will do. And I don't really know too much. How does any of this work? What? So at risk of sounding too stupid, I'll try to explain it the most basic level.
An analogy that popped to mind is, for me anyway, is that if Australia was a house, Sydney would be the living room and Melbourne would be the family room. Living room is all nice and fancy. That's what you show people, but you got to take off your shoes. But the family room is where you really want to go and have fun. So I guess I'm a family room kind of guy. So Melbourne's been a pleasant surprise. I think I might like it as much or a little better than Sydney.
Pleasant. That's what my mom called me as a child.
There are so many more people going to this thing than I thought there would be.
Even though we're not from Australia, there is something really exciting to see other people cheering on their teams. Yeah, there's a certain excitement. Can you tell me how it feels to be entering Marvel Stadium?
This is pretty cool. I love that it's the Marvel. Ah!
We spent the whole video today talking about how we shouldn't compare and compete, and what are we doing? Going to the ultimate form of competition.
Thanks, man. This is so cool. The field is so big. It's so big. These aren't our seats, of course. We're the, way up, but this is awesome.
Not sure if he's more excited for the game or for being in Marvel Stadium.
We got a long way to go. Okay, so the game is played on this absolutely massive, like 3 times as big as a normal football field that's kind of like oval shaped. And I think that you can score 6 points by kicking the ball through the 2 middle uprights, and then 1 point by kicking it through the ones on the outside. There are people jumping off of each other, people tackling each other. It's non-stop. It just looks awesome.
Okay, so there are 4 quarters, each 20 minutes.
Yep.
No first downs.
No, it's always running. It's always going.
They can dribble the ball.
They have to every 15 meters.
And there are no offsides.
Right. Yeah, you can be anywhere.
All 36 of them. They punch the ball.
Yeah, you can't just throw it to somebody. You gotta like pow. Pow.
This is gonna be wild.
We're going.
Something occurred. I'm not sure what.
Oh, he got a
This game is madness so far. Wonderful, wonderful madness. There's people throwing in balls backwards. There's people running and dribbling thing. They're kicking it into each other. They're jumping off each other. This is amazing. I just can't believe how far everyone is running all the time. Like, this is huge. Nobody ever stops. There's no time for breaks or anything. You're just always running.
The real heroes of this game are the refs and their graceful back throws of the ball.
So far, the Western Bulldogs are up 21-9 over the Sydney Swans. That doesn't seem like a lot. Like, that doesn't seem like a big lead. Doesn't seem like anybody's really worried around here. It's only the first quarter. So what do you think so far?
I like it. A lot of unusual playmaking. It reminds me of Kill the Guy with the Ball that we used to play in the schoolyard when I was a kid, with some intricate rule enhancements over what we played. I'm surprised it hasn't grown past Australia.
Starting to pick up momentum, 50-33.
All right, so it's almost the fourth quarter. The Swans are kind of starting to come back, but they're still down by like 3 scores, I think. I don't know. There's only 1 quarter left, and these quarters go by super fast. Things are getting heated out here.
The Swans just scored. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
65 to
One
60.
score down.
Hard to tell when the game will end. There's no. It's gone past 20 minutes.
You can really feel the tenseness now. It's tense in here. Oh my God. I understood about 20% of all that, but it was awesome. What a game. It was amazing.
There was dribbling, there was goal posts, there were points and balls, and number 6's glorious hair just flowing in the wind.
A magnificent man.
And
Man.
guys, there's 10,000 of us.
We just hit 10,000 subscribers during the game.
10,000 of us all doing this, helping each other travel the world.
So most importantly, thank you guys. All of you out there. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you know, it wouldn't hurt. Give it a try.
There's 10,000 of us. Might as well.
So I think as far as back to the beginning of this video, when it comes to comparing these two, Sydney and Melbourne, I think there is no comparison because they're campy.
It's like someone wise once told us, if you're an albino magpie, you just are special and unique. Melbourne, Sydney, you are both unique.
Both unique.
We know Australia is a huge country and we didn't get to see all of the gloriousness of it, but what a way to end our Australia trip. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, Melbourne. We'll be back again soon.
Debate over. Both are great. We're heading to Singapore tomorrow. We'll see you there.
For some reason, a $1 is 1/3 the size of 50 cents.
Yeah, but look at how small the two is.
It's inversely proportionate
It's
to the value.
Thanks.
Wow! Wow! The dressing made it all the way from Sydney. Don't worry, everyone. The dressing made it.
6 points.
Yeah.
I want to be on the 50-yard line.
Sure. Oh no.
There was 10,000 subscribers. And we found out when we were at our first AFL game. Oh, I don't have to pop it. It's twist. Hi, kitty. What do you got to tell us? So many things to say.